Hi, my name is Lisa Robyn Wood and I'm the founder of Grip Corporate Coaching. So I'm going to start my little video today by crediting a member of my LinkedIn network, Kim Adele Platts, who is an incredible coach herself. And she posted on her LinkedIn profile a couple of weeks ago a fantastic quote, which is from Buddha, which is, "All that we are is a result of what we have thought." So I could not believe in this quote anymore. I think it is an incredible quote and I think it is just so true. And it really centres in on the importance of our mindset and how important our mindset is in respect of the way in which we experience life and the outcomes we achieve. Ultimately, our unconscious mind, which is such a huge driver and controller of what we think and what we do, really doesn't know the difference between truth and fiction. Our subconscious believes whatever we tell it. So if we tell it we can't do something, we can't, or rather we won't. And it was really interesting because when I recently spoke to my own mother, who does suffer from anxiety, she said, "I just can't help it." And actually, I think we can. I think we can help what we do because we can help how we think, and how we think affects the choices we make. So don't get me wrong, I am not saying that this is an easy thing to change. It isn't. And so much of the way we think about things is ingrained from us from the moment we were born, grew up, and how we think is totally based on our experiences in life. So clearly, those of us who've had some really challenging experiences, whether that be through really difficult times, both in terms of abuse, God forbid, or even just experiences of severe negativity and lessons that we've been taught by those around us, our influences, like our parents, like our family members, like our teachers, like our friends even. Those of us who've gone through difficult times are more inclined to have those entrenched, ingrained thoughts. However, I think this is where it's really interesting about how those experiences in our lives have triggered where we are today. For some people, they've sent us down the path of very similar mirrored behaviours. For others, not at all. They've actually triggered the opposite because it's been that compelling that we've decided we want to do the opposite with our lives. So I think it really does demonstrate everything that has happened to us doesn't mean that is the way we will be. So in terms of what we do with that, especially in a work context, I think it's thinking about ourselves as role models and the responsibility that we have to those around us and the culture that we are wanting to influence and create and contribute to ultimately. So in terms of how to really focus in on our mindset and what we can do about it and how we can change it if our mindset's not being helpful to us, I think it's first to be really clear that it's important to feel how we feel. This is not about ignoring our feelings. Ignoring them will only create other issues down the line. I also think ignoring your feelings means you're actually only concentrating on them anyway. So I think it's about feeling how you feel, letting yourself feel that way, acknowledging it, so important. Acknowledge that you feel that way. Don't ignore it, acknowledge it, face into it. Recognize it's there, because once you do that and you start facing into it, you can start actually doing something about it. Challenge it. Challenge, why do I feel this way? Where is this coming from? How is this helping me? And then start thinking about how you replace it. So think about what would be more useful to me to think in this situation. And what's stopping me from thinking in that way right now? What can I do about it? And then start forming a way to replace it. So it's, as I said, it's not about ignoring it. It's not about necessarily changing it immediately. It's about accepting it is there and then thinking about, so how am I going to replace this thought? What would help me more in this situation? How can I move forward What do I need to be able to move forward? What mindset would help me to move forward? And then just take a look at it and review it. So externalize it, write it down, turn it into an object, and have a look at that and see how you feel about it. How does that change things for you? I mean, going a step backwards, actually, sometimes I find externalizing my negative, unhelpful thoughts enables me to look at them more objectively, see them as things rather than a part of me, and actually, quite powerfully, binning them, like screwing them up and throwing them in the bin, so I can be rid of them for that moment, but accepting they may come back. Because, as I said, some of these thoughts of ours are deeply entrenched, and we have to forgive ourselves for that. That's just the way it is, and that's okay. And then revisit this exercise, see how it helps you, practice it repeatedly until you become more confident at doing it. If you want to learn more about mindsets and your own mindsets and ways in which you can create techniques to challenge and replace some unhelpful thoughts you may be having, then come and find me on my website. My website is www.gripcoaching.co.uk. I'd love to have a chat. Take care.